And then coming down onto your back, any comfortable place on the earth. All right. So I think maybe in our class today, we'll do a little bit slower, um, maybe a little gentler. The standing figure four is a little bit more challenging, um, but you will have the option also to come down to the earth and do a seated figure four, which I will show you beforehand, which we'll use as like practice to come into the standing figure four. But other than that, we'll do kind of a gentler class today. It's been a gentler class kind of couple weeks. So even though I say that, still listen to your body. Only do what's comfortable for you. What may be gentle for one person may not be gentle for someone else. So just pay attention. You are your own teacher. I am just here as a guide giving you options. All right, so let's notice first the sensation of the earth beneath us. Can you feel connected to the earth? Notice the touch points of your body on the earth. Noticing the sensation of your breath. And really see if you can become present here during our practice in this moment. All right. Our class today is on Santosha, which means contentment. For many of us, looking at the ways we are imperfect and how we can be better or stronger is far more natural than just looking at the ways we are already pretty great. A critical eye serves us well in some environments, but it's exhausting and counterproductive to spend so much time on relentless improvement. Santosha reminds us to look at ourselves and find peace and acceptance, a far harder process for some of us. In our yoga practice, Santosha is about accepting our perceived limitations and what's more, celebrating them. It's about finding a sense of contentment for where we are in a movement practice and where we are emotionally and maybe spiritually in practice. So I invite you to do a body scan here, maybe starting from the crown of your head. Notice what feels tight, tired, and sore. And notice that is where your attention goes first anyway. But now notice what already feels good. Notice where your body is already at ease, content, and comfortable. As we go through our practice, I invite you to see the good in the different parts of the practice. We're not ignoring the not so good, but we're trying to remember the good, finding contentment. So finding some small movements here in fingers and toes. Rolling around wrists and ankles, or making any movements your body enjoys to kind of come back into the space. Okay, so let's start here with a big stretch on the earth. Legs come long, arms come long, reaching the arms up and back behind you. And then gently release here. So we're going to do this a couple more times. It's a lying extended mountain. So reach the arms long, legs long, push the shoulders down into the earth, push the backs of the thighs down into the earth, reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, let it out and soften. We'll find one more here. Reach long, shoulders down, backs of the thighs down. And then release, exhale, soften. What feels good here? Can you find contentment here? Okay, we'll come into a banana pose, a C shape here with our bodies. So arms are still long if that's comfortable for you in your shoulders. If not, feel free to bring the arms down by your sides. So we're going to reach long once again, not quite as fully as last time, but reaching the arms long. And then sending the head, shoulders, and arms over towards the right side of your mat, keeping the hips on the earth. And then perhaps sending the legs over towards the right side of the mat as well, creating like a C shape here. If you wish for a little more, grabbing a hold of the left wrist, finding more length here along the left side body. And if the hips stay on the earth, maybe the left ankle crosses over the right. Once you find a nice stretch here, see if you can soften into this pose, releasing any tension. And just notice where you feel the stretch maybe. Where do you feel lengthening? And remember to stay connected with your breath. Deep inhales, long, slow exhale. I once read about a teacher who said she would bring her students into the hardest part of the pose by saying, and now smile. So can you find a smile in this pose? Notice how it makes your body feel. Notice how it makes your mind feel, your heart. All right, so let's bring everything back to center, arms to center, legs to center. Perhaps checking in with your body, notice what comes up. Yes, the places that don't feel the best may pop up immediately, but try and find the places that feel good. And then whenever you're ready, reaching the arms and legs long once again, and then sliding the shoulders, head, arms to the left side, sliding the legs to the left side, and find, whatever variation feels good for you on this side. And softening into the pose. What feels good in this moment? You know, sometimes it feels good just to breathe, be present. All right, whenever you're ready, allow your arms to come back to center, legs come back to center. Okay, so let's place both feet on the earth about hip distance apart. Repositioning your back flat on the earth. And then we'll walk the feet out wide on the mat and find some windshield wiper movements here with the knees. Releasing any tension that you feel in your back. All right, so let's walk the feet towards each other. And then we're gonna do a little bit of a movement for the shoulders. So arms reach up towards the sky. And then you're gonna create like a window here with your arms. So grabbing a hold of opposite elbows, arms come over top of your chest. And whenever you're ready, on your exhale, allowing your arms to drop over towards one side. Inhale, arms come back to center, and exhale, arms drop over to the other side. And just moving back and forth here at your own pace with your own breath. Where does your head want to go? Doesn't want to follow your arms or go the opposite direction. And the next time your arms come back to center, repositioning the cross of your arms, and then allowing your arms to drop over to one side again. Inhale to center, exhale over. Notice where you feel it in your shoulders, especially the backs of the shoulders. All right, so the next time your arms come back to center, releasing your arms down by your side. Let's bring the feet hip distance apart, so 2 fist width. Feet are as close to your sits bones as you can comfortably get them. Bring the arms down by your sides, and we'll find some moving bridges here. So pushing your feet into the earth, lift your hips, squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your glutes, and then exhale to lower. And just moving with your own breath. Inhale, push your feet into the earth to lift the hips. Knees stay hip distance apart, and exhaling to lower. And just take your time, a little movement to wake up the back, to wake up the legs. All right, so one more time. And once your back comes flat on the earth, allow it to just kind of relax, adjust to the flatness of the earth. All right, and from here, let's walk the feet out towards the sides, windshield wiper the feet or the knees once again. And then whenever you're ready, slowly rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you, and making your way up to seated. So any comfortable seated position for you. And from here, let's find some shoulder rolls. On your inhale, rolling your shoulders up towards your ears. And on your exhale, rolling your shoulders back and down your spine. Just moving with your own breath. And just a reminder, the shoulders roll back and down the spine is where we want them to be whenever we bring our arms up overhead or we have our hands on the earth and we're putting weight into our hands. So one more time. Great. And then from here, let's bring the arms out towards the side, palms face up, shoulders soften. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Clasp the hands. Round the spine, send the arms out in front. Big stretch here. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, arms come over towards one side. Inhaling back to center and exhaling over towards the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, arms come down by your sides. All right, we're going to set up for our joy pose. So first, let's start with feet about mat distance apart, and then windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Okay, so we're going to set up. Let's bring the right shin so it goes the same direction as the front of your mat. Activate the left foot, curl back the toes, and then send that left leg out to the side. So you're kind of making like a pinwheel, 290-degree angle kind of sort of thing. Okay. So then from here, we'll find some movement. So right hand comes down to the earth. The left arm reaches up and over. Come over as far as you feel comfortable. Top shoulder rolls back and down the spine. You may even come down to the forearm if that feels good. Trying not to turn the heart down towards the earth, but we want to try and open it up to the side or up towards the sky. And on your next inhale, come back to center. We'll bring the left hand down to the earth. Right arm reaches up and over. So if you need to, you can always use a block to come underneath that left hand if it feels like the floor is far away. The length along the right side body. And then inhale, come back to center, releasing the hand down towards the earth on the exhale. So we're going to cross over that right shin. Bring the hands out in front. Inhale, lengthen the spine, activate the feet. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Only go as far as you feel comfortable. Can you find yourself in this moment and breathe? Be present here. And can you find contentment here? Slowly walking the hands back up. Help yourself come up to center. We're going to find a twist, okay? So left hand comes to the right knee, right hand comes to the earth. You're only going to go as far as you feel comfortable. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, turning to the right. Inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhale, coming back to center. Okay, joy pose. So you're going to go into joy pose if it feels good, or you're going to find a variation along the way. So we'll place the right hand on the earth. We'll scoop the left arm up and over like we did before. So maybe you stay here in this shape, or perhaps you come up onto your knees, lift the hips, reach up, maybe even back behind you, open the heart. Joy pose. So in this joy pose, maybe you find circles here in that top arm. What feels good? Or maybe you're finding that side body stretch. What feels good there? And slowly lowering back down. All right, other side. So activate your feet as you roll on out of this shape here. We'll bring the feet mat distance apart once again, and then windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Okay, so we'll set up the other direction. This time, left shin comes parallel to the short edge of your mat or whatever edge you're sitting facing, activating the right foot and placing that right leg by your side, pinwheel sort of shape. Okay, and then from here, we'll find that side body stretch. So left hand comes down to the earth, right arm reaches up and over, rolling that top shoulder back and down your spine. And again, go as far as it feels good. What can you do in this pose to find a little more ease, contentment? Maybe it's that hard part of the pose, the smile. Shouldn't be the hard part, right? All right, on your next inhale, coming back to center. And then the right hand comes to the earth, left arm reaches up and over. Lots of side body stretching today. All right, inhale, come back to center. Activating the feet, hands come out in front of the left shin and slowly hinging forward from the hips. Slowly walking yourself back up. And we'll find that twist. So right hand to the left thigh. Sorry, I'm rushing. Slow down. Left hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale to turn. Sometimes my brain knows where we're going. It's thinking ahead, so I go a little fast. Inhale to lengthen the spine and come on back to center. All right, so joy pose or a variation thereof. Left hand to the earth. Sorry, right arm reaches up and over. Maybe you find that side body stretch, or maybe you come up into joy pose. What feels good with that top arm? You may even make a little bit of movement up here with the upper body. Trying not to collapse in on the left arm. So gripping those fingers into the earth. Push the earth away. Try not to lock out the elbow. And slowly lowering back down. All right. So activating the feet as you bring the feet out. And we'll bring the legs out to start actually, and give them a good shake. All right, so I said we would do a seated figure four so that you have that option when we come up to standing. So our seated figure four here, we'll keep the left leg out long. Hug the right knee in towards the chest. Activating the right foot and crossing that right ankle over the left thigh. All right, so if this is not comfortable at all, you can always find a variation where you just place the foot on the earth and knee comes out to the side. All right, so we're gonna keep the right foot active. Bring the hands back behind you and keeping length in your spine. Tongue-tied today. So let's bring the left foot down towards the earth. So you may have to lean back a little bit to get the foot to the earth. Totally okay. Keeping that length in your spine, trying not to lean back too much. If you wish, maybe bringing that left foot in a little bit more. And only go as far as it feels good. Right foot stays active. And then we imagine that we are sending the right knee towards the front of the mat. All right, so you can stay here if you want, or you can add a little bit something to this. Hands are gonna come flat to the earth, fingers pointing towards the front of your mat, or out towards the sides if that feels better for your shoulders. Okay, shoulders roll back and down the spine, pushing into the left foot, lift the hips. Looking up at the sky, try not to allow the neck to fall back or the head to fall back. And slowly lower. Slowly release the legs out long. Give them a bit of a shake. And then we'll hug the left knee in towards us. Activating the left foot, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. Hands come behind you to find length. I like to come up on tented fingers to keep a little more length. It's totally up to you. Right foot comes to the earth. That right foot comes in only as far as it feels good. And we send the left knee towards the front of the mat, or imagine. Say good morning, hips. Oh, where does it feel good? All right, if you want to find that, it's called a three-legged table. Turning the fingers either to the side or towards the front of the mat. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Push into the right foot to lift the hips. When I said good morning hips, it reminded me of like, good morning, son. Good morning, you know, like little kids do. All right, gently lowering the hips down. Release the legs, give them a good shake. All right. Let's come into tabletop. We're gonna find a little bit of more of a flow here. So our next pose that I picked for Chad was a gate pose. So in our gate pose, we will bring the right foot out towards the side, walking the hands back and come on up onto that left knee. All right. From here, we'll bring the right hand down towards the right thigh. Left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, back up. Use your core to come up to center. Exhale, over into the gate pose once again. Try not to put pressure on your knee with your hand. Inhaling to center, exhaling over once again, reach towards the edge of the mat. Inhale, slowly come back to center. Exhale, slowly bringing the hands down towards the earth. So you're gonna come kind of like in a tabletop shape here, wrists underneath the shoulders. If it doesn't feel good for the right leg to be out long, you can always find a variation by placing that right foot on the earth, knee is bent, toes point out towards the right side. Let's find some cat-cow movements here. All right, slowly coming back to a flat back. We're going to reach the right arm up towards the sky, maybe even up and back behind you. And exhale, right hand comes down underneath the right shoulder. Left arm comes out to the side, perhaps up towards the sky. Listen to your body. And exhale, hand comes down to the earth. Find your tabletop pose. Shift your weight forward. Hips come to the earth, tuck the elbows, lower the heart down. We'll find a baby cobra here. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Tops of the feet to the earth. Lift the heart. Tuck the elbows. Sorry, tucking the elbows. I sound very demanding today. Exhale to lower. We're going to make our way back into a tabletop pose, and then up to you, child's pose or downward facing dog. Walking out your feet or pedaling out your feet. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, right? Grip the fingers into the earth. All right, let's shift our weight back into a tabletop pose. And this time, left leg comes out to the side. We're going to find that gate on this side, walking the hands up towards the knee. Come on up onto that right knee. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up and over. So again, if you have shoulder issues, be mindful. Maybe you keep the arm down by your side. Kind of like when we came into the C shape, banana pose. Inhale, arms to center. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Left arm reaches up and over. Feel length here along the left side body. Can you use your core to slowly help you come back up to center and then over to the other side? Inhaling back to center. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale, right hand comes down to the earth. Left arm reaches up and over. Okay, inhale, slowly come back up. And exhale, hands come down to the earth. Again, maybe the leg is out long, or maybe the foot's to the earth with a bent knee. Oops, find some cat-cow movements here. So if the knee is starting to feel uncomfortable, feel free to grab something to place underneath the knee. The one that's on the floor. All right, so flat back, right hand is under the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up towards the sky, maybe even open up and back behind you. Left hand comes down underneath the left shoulder. Right arm opens out towards the side, perhaps up towards the sky. Right arm comes back down to the earth. Coming into a tabletop pose. And then downward dog. So if downward dog is not in your practice, maybe puppy pose or dolphin with forearms to the earth. So you still get that stretch along the backs of the legs. All right, so shifting into your tabletop pose, tuck the elbows lower to the earth. Our Sphinx pose, our Sphinx card. So forearms come to the earth. We want them to be parallel to each other. Elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Okay, so options for your feet. Everyone's a little different. First, we're going to reach the legs away from us, place the tops of the feet on the earth. So feet maybe are hip distance apart. For some people, it feels better in the low back for toes together, heels apart. And for some, it feels better legs mat distance apart. Okay, so once you find that comfortable place in the lower body, we're going to imagine that we're able to pull the arms in towards the chest. So as we do so, allow the chest to come through between the arms, looking forward. Try not to collapse in on the arms. So all of our floor back bend sort of stuff are snake kind of poses, or I guess snake, not snake, but these sorts of poses, most of the effort is coming from the back. So that's what holds us up. It may seem like the arms are trying to hold us up, but see if you can use the back to lift. All right, one more round of breath. And then releasing all the way down to the earth. Making your way into a tabletop pose. All right, right foot comes forward between the hands. Shift your weight forward. Step the left foot forward to meet the right into a forward fold. So mat, or nope, not mat distance, hip distance apart. As much of a bend in your knees as you need. We want contentment, right? How does it feel good? What do you need to do to feel good in this pose? Maybe you soften your neck, shake out the head, perhaps you sway. What feels good? All right, so let's bring our hands to our hips. Find lengthen the spine, send the crown of the head forward, and with a flat back, take your time, slowly, slowly, slowly come up to standing. Nice and slow, been hanging upside down. Mountain pose. All right, so we will go through a few half sun salutations just to kind of get moving a little bit more. And then our standing figure four. So feet are hip distance apart, squeezing the inner thighs. So as you squeeze the inner thighs, notice what happens. It activates your thighs, but also slightly sends that tailbone down towards the earth. Crown of the head reaches high, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Send the palms towards the front of the mat. Feel strength here in your mountain. Nice and tall. And on your inhale, arms reach up, extended mountain, shoulders soften. Send the pinkies forward. A little turn in the wrists. On your exhale with a flat back, bend in your knees, arms out to the sides, swan diving down. Take your time. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to shins or thighs, flat back. Find equal weight in the four corners of your feet. And exhale to lower, forward fold. Our arms come out to the side, reverse swan dive up with a flat back into extended mountain. Send the pinkies forward. Exhale, hands to heart center. And do that a couple more times. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Take your time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse up into extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Once more. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse up to extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Perhaps take a moment here to close or lower your eyes. Connect to your breath. Connect to what feels good here. Maybe it's the mind, the heart, somewhere in the body. Perhaps you find that smile. No one else is watching you, so you can smile as much as you want and don't have to think anything about it. All right. Finding your mountain pose. Shifting your weight over into your left foot. I'll turn around, but I'll be opposite of you, into your left foot. Right foot comes up off the earth. Activate the right foot. Send that knee forward. Maybe this is it. Maybe you prefer to come down into a seated figure four, or maybe you come into tree pose. Or the standing figure four, which was our card. So right foot is active, crossing that right ankle over the left thigh. Arms reach up towards the sky, softening the shoulders. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you start to sit the hips back. Right foot still active. You can always come to a wall if you need to help you with balance, and you still feel the stretch. All right, can you find contentment in this pose? What would feel good? What can you do to come a little bit more into ease? Effort and ease at the same time, right? One more round. And then keep the right foot active, push into the left foot, release that right foot down towards the earth. Maybe you shake out your legs. All right, so find your mountain pose. That center. Remember to squeeze the inner thighs, crown of the head reaches high. This time we shift the weight into the right foot. Micro bend in the right knee. Left foot comes up off the earth, send the knee forward. All right, so maybe it's true. Maybe you come down to the earth for seated figure four or standing figure four. Left foot stays active. Perhaps you reach the arms up towards the sky, soften the shoulders, sit the hips back. Woo. Don't watch me, I'll make you fall. I'm swaying, just totally okay, right? So you go down as far as it feels good to go into this pose, or wherever you are. Arms come wherever's comfortable, whatever helps you feel good in this moment. Remember to breathe. All right, push the right foot into the earth, lift up out of your figure four. Left foot comes to the earth. Maybe give your legs a bit of a shake. Hey, we did this on Thursday. I thought we haven't done this in a long time. So swaying the arms from side to side. So we're kind of doing floppy arms. I'm not sure what this is called. Remember when you were little, you may have done this where you kind of like flung your arms around. You're like, where do all my arms land on my body? Sometimes it's good to connect to the things we did or the way we were when we were children. Find that happiness there. All right, let's come back to center. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, swan diving down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Let's step the right foot back, lowering the right knee to the earth. Right hand stays underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Left hand comes down to the earth. Ready? We're going to curl the back toes under, step the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Left foot steps back, lowering the left knee to the earth. Left hand is under the shoulder, right hand reaches up towards the sky. Right hand comes down. Curl the back toes under, send that left foot forward to meet the right, forward fold. Where are we going with this? Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot takes a big step back. All right, so maybe the knee drops to the earth or maybe it stays up. Right hand comes underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Left hand comes to the inside of the left foot. Okay, we're gonna walk the left foot over towards the left side of the mat. So knee can be down or up, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then perhaps you start walking your hands over towards the right corner of your mat, maybe off your mat. Melt the heart. Let's slowly bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. I'll drop that left, nope, right knee to the earth. Walk the left foot in between the hands, and then right foot comes forward to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot takes a big step back. Knee can come down or stay up. Left hand under the left shoulder, right hand reaches up towards the sky. Sorry, losing my mic. Right hand comes inside the right foot. Walk that foot over towards the right side of the mat. You can always drop the knee if you want from here, if it's still up, or you can keep it up. Walking the hands over towards the top left corner of the mat, maybe even comes off the mat. Melt the heart. Gently walking your hands back, coming underneath the shoulders, not shoulder. Left knee to the earth. Walk that right foot in. We're going to come into tabletop and into child's pose. Find one that feels good for you in your body. Back to your breath, back to the present moment. What can you do to feel even more comfortable and at ease here? And slowly making your way back into tabletop and then into seated. All right. So I said our fish pose would be a restorative variation of a fish, unless of course you like the full variation of fish. You find what feels best for you today, right? So I'm going to start by showing with the bolster. For those of you who have a bolster, there's also variation to use with blocks as well. I'll show the variation with blocks after the bolster because I think that pretty much everyone has the bolster or something like a bolster. All right, so we're going to put this prop, whatever you're using, down on the earth. And then if you have a blanket or a towel, placing it where the head's going to go. So you're going to be laying on your back and the head's going to come off the bolster. So the head blanket comes down, and then it will kind of depend on your body, what feels good for you. Some people like a more folded blanket, so it's a little bit higher so the head doesn't have to drop back quite as far. All right. So the way this looks with the bolster is we're going to sit down onto it. So be very careful. If you have neck issues, I invite you to maybe come and just place the head on your bolster and not allow the head to come all the way off. So in our fish pose, we come down to the back, send the head back. So the top of the head, if you can, comes down onto the blanket or the floor. Arms come out to the side, palms face up towards the sky. So a bit of a chest opener here, but also kind of something nice for the neck. And we don't want to crunch the neck in. We want to make sure there's enough space for the head to hang off and the top of the head to come down. You may have to adjust yourself by pulling away, not pulling away, walking yourself down your bolster, or maybe changing the fold of your blanket. And then it's up to you for legs. So maybe knees together, feet apart. Some people feel comfortable bringing the legs out long. It does depend on the length of your bolster and your torso, how they compare. You can always place a block underneath where your hips come. How do I explain this? So your hips aren't coming off to the floor, that they're coming onto a block. All right. So if you're in this variation here, sink and settle. Our fish pose with blocks, just in case. Just go through it really quick. We set up 2 blocks. One block is shaped on the medium height. We want it to face this way. The other block comes down. We come down so that medium height block comes between the shoulder blades and the head falls off onto the other block. All right. So if you need to come out of fish early, please feel free to do so. Be very, very slow and mindful. Bring your chin in toward your chest. If you're on the bolster, maybe you slide down your bolster or you gently roll off of the bolster onto one arm, onto your side. All right. All of that. Deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. I like to give you lots of options when I can't see you. All right, contentment. Satisfied within. Santosha is the state of underlying contentment with what life is offering you. How often do we think to ourselves, I will be happier when or if I do yoga, I will be more flexible. If I meditate, I will be more at ease, more content. If I'm contented, people will love me. When people come to yoga, they may be looking to clean up their acts, to find happiness or contentment by adhering to the principle of ifs. We can waste a lot of energy trying to fulfill the conditions we place on our life. We try by pushing away the things we don't want to attract, the things that we do. Then, when we get what we want, we may lose it again, or we may never get the things we pursue. The set of conditions becomes a moving target. Initially, we may feel content with attainment, and then an apathy may fall over us as the things we sought so eagerly lose their shine. But yoga is not about meeting a set of conditions so you can find happiness. Instead, it's a practice of meeting all parts of yourself with sweetness and love. Your shortcomings, your stiff body, your aching heart, the mood that swept through your house, your breakups, your sickness, your boredom and impatience, especially your confusion, doubts, and fears. Santosha is an inside job that asks us to ride the waves of our life as if, as it is being presented, and to look for the sweet spots within that radiate satisfaction regardless of our life's conditions. Life is a gift. We may not like all the comings and goings, but they make up a life, our life. All right, so it's up to you. You can stay in fish if you would like, or you can make your way out to come into Shavasana for 5 minutes. To come out, move very slowly and mindfully, be very cautious of your neck. And then come into any variation of Shavasana that feels good for you, or maybe there's something else that your body is asking for. Could be legs up the wall, could be something on your side body, on your front body. Radical contentment is hard work. It involves being vigilant in your response to any voices in your heart that tell you you are not enough as you are. Right now, you are enough. There is nothing to fix here. There is nothing that needs to be done. There is nothing to change or work on. Just be. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. nothing to change. Just be. Making any small movements that feels good for you in your body. Perhaps taking a moment here to find gratitude. Maybe thank yourself for carving out this time to take care of your body, your mind, and your heart. In your own time, rolling over to one side, any side that's calling for you, and gently making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. I honor the space that we are in together, this virtual space that has allowed us to share our practice with each other, to connect. I honor all of the yogis, all of the teachers from India and abroad who have brought us this beautiful practice of yoga. And I honor all of you for being here today, for showing up, for doing what feels good for you in your body, your mind, and your heart, for sharing your practice with me and with each other. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you, everyone.